Hello. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. I almost said Friday because, I guess I'm just that tired, but that's fine. We're going to paint, and I'm very excited to do it. Turn up, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you, and welcome on in. What? Oh, no! My chatbot wants to update. That would explain why it's not running. Ah, fine. Run an update. Turn up, thank you very much for the 3-stream steak. I hope you enjoy your 3 delicious, delicious steaks. Thank you, thank you. And no, it's not 3 streams. It's 7 streams. Oh my goodness, I can't read. Well, thank you. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hearts for you for that 7 steaks. I hope your steaks are delicious. Sorry. My chatbot is also, there's an update bar doing its thing. Apparently it's about to restart. I hope that's true. Anyways, hope you're having beautiful Thursdays, everyone. I fear I may have erred slightly with my camera angles. Either that, or I feel like my paintable area of the screen is just, it's like, of the desk, is shrinking. I swear it's shrinking. Things are being compressed inwards. There is not enough space for all of these things. We need a second studio. We need a second studio to contain all of the art supplies, all of the Warhammers, all 40... I mean, there are 40,000 of them, so that's not a small number. All of the other art stuff that, to be honest, does not live in the studio because it does not fit in the studio. My sewing supplies do not live in the studio. My art supplies largely live in a stack on top of a suitcase that is holding open the studio door because there is nowhere else to put it. This flat is not large, and there are many things in it. Great. I took off my wedding ring to moisturize my hands, which I am doing, and I have no idea where it's gone. Chat, can you see my wedding ring? By any chance? Oh no, I see it. I made the mistake of my laptop is gray. I made the mistake of putting my wedding ring on my laptop, which it blends in with. Anyways, I'm just going to check and make sure that our chatbot is back up and running by doing !egg. Yes, there we go. Good. Yeah, now you know how many eggs a sunfish releases when it spawns. It's not a small number. Anyways. I was like, I want hot beverages right now when I was coming into this room because it was, it's autumnal, it's chilly out there. And now that I'm sitting in here, I've got the light on. I've got, I am actually going to open the window because woof! It's a little bit, the combined steam of a cup of tea and a cup of coffee is a little bit much. But we got there. Yay! Congratulations to me. I am once again married. Anyways, hey Theo, how's it going? Welcome on in. Hello. I wish you had all the space you need, says Theo. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Though that being said, I kind of just wish that I was able to implement smarter storage solutions for the space that I do have. Because I also don't want an excessively large space. I see some houses, I see like North American kitchens that are the size of like my combined kitchen, living room, and vestibule. And I'm like, what do you do with all that space? That's just so much more space to I've always said this to my partner, is that like, I don't want that many rooms in my house. Because that's just more spaces for us to, like, worry about getting dirty and eventually having to clean. And, neither of us enjoy cleaning particularly, so the less we can do of it, the better, you know what I mean? Anyways. Turner, thank you very much for the lurk. Very much appreciated. I hope you have a lovely, lovely lurk. I'm gonna attempt to do some painting, I guess. All other things being unknown, I suppose I should continue on with the painting of the books and try and decide what other colors of book cover we want to be. We have red books. We have blue books. Do we want some, like, nice sort of gold tan colored looking books? I think that might be nice. Woo, streaking, says Aoife. Hello, Aoife. Welcome on in. How are you doing? It's wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you very much for the 3 stream steak. Very much appreciated. Anyways, so yeah. I haven't had a chance to do nearly as much Stream Inc. prepped as I had hoped I would by this point, because Stream Inc. is coming next month. And it is distressingly... How is it September the 19th already? What the heck? Who allowed it to... How is allowing this month to go by so quickly? I am very not cool with that. Though that being said, I am very looking forward to doing Stream Inc. next month. But, ooh, I feel like it's going to be a lot. I feel like I'm kind of in this situation where I'm like, okay, you gotta get ready. You gotta get ready. You gotta get ready and do the thing. And I'm so paralyzed by the amount of tasks that I have to do by the end of this month that I am incapable of doing any of them. And I end up just taking a stress nap and playing Ooblets. Because I'm lightly overwhelmed at the moment. I really want to get ahead of... For the last few years, I have not been able to put anything new into the shop, like, just in time for people actually wanting to buy stuff before the holidays, kind of like winter season. And I really, really want to get on that this year. Because I would really like to be the kind of person who can, you know, have a shop and sell artworks and have that be a viable part of my life. And it is a very, very difficult thing to plan for and prepare for. And like, I just launched a shop update. I'm not ready to think about the next one, but apparently I gotta. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to brainstorm for Stream Inc. as well, as I will be doing 31 ink paintings in the space of 31 days, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be very, very exciting and fun, but I've got a lot of prep to do in the next, like, 10 days, and I'm feeling it. But that's not what today is about. Today is about the expression of maximum cozy, and we are going to channel all of our cozy feelings into this painting. I'm in a bit of a weird brain space at the moment because I was mentally ranting about some stuff to myself, because there are some things that I haven't thought about in a really long time, and then I was remembering all of the things that I thought and felt and opinions about them and kind of reassessing, do I still hold the same opinions? Are these things that I feel, or is it worth revisiting them? Which I think is a good thing to do sometimes with certain things, to just, you know, think about why you hold certain thoughts and feelings about certain things, and ask yourself, do I still feel this way? Is there new information that has changed the way I feel about them? And that's a healthy way to progress. To which end, this is so stupid. Thea, thank you very much for the lurk. That's not stupid. That's wonderful. Thank you for the lurk. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely lurk. But the thing I've been thinking about is there is a convention that is happening later on in the autumn that I have considered attending, but I feel really on the fence about it, because it's like, it's a 3-day event, and you can't just buy like a 1-day pass or anything. You just buy a ticket for there's like 2 types of tickets. You buy just a regular ticket for the whole event, or you buy the fancy ticket for the whole event, which has like added perks. And I'm just thinking to myself, do I want to... I haven't done, like, you know, a convention expo type event thing in a very long time. Like, it's been... Like, I went to like a games expo a few years ago, and by now it's probably like... was that... maybe 3 or 4 years ago, at least. And feeling kind of like, and that was much more low-key than this, because that was just sort of wander around, see some friends, get some lunch, and then a bunch of people go to a pub together, sort of in the evening, and that was it. Whereas this is more, you know, you go there for 3 whole days. It is like a whole experience. There's all kinds of things, and you're gonna feel like you want to get your money's worth, so you gotta do the things. I don't know how many people I know are going to be there, so I may well be at a loss and alone for a lot of it, which is also a little scary. So I'm at a point where I'm like, do I want to do this? I don't know. Am I going to have FOMO if I don't? 100% absolutely going to have so much FOMO if I don't. But is it also going to be, from past experiences of going to events like this, is it going to be a situation where if you want to do, like, the things that you really paid to actually be there for, like, you know, meeting interesting, like, famous people you admire and what have you, are you going to end up in a situation where basically your weekend is spending several hours in queues for, like, a 15-second interaction and then getting back into another queue for another thing? I just don't know. It feels really, it feels like a big risk. It's also expensive, and I'm poor. So. But anyways. I'd like to paint. I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna take this brush, I think. Which is, it's got these little, I don't know if you can see it, but this brush has these little bristles sort of sticking out that I cannot get to go to, like, reshape back into, like, brush shape, and I don't know what to do about it. Because I think they basically, at some point when I was putting the lid back on, they got squished down. But I can't, I can't put them back up. Yeah, Turnip says, yeah, that's why I've never bothered to pay to meet someone at a con. The lines. Ugh, yeah, the lines, seriously, it is. I have gone to, so I used to be a regular attendee at, conventions. I think there was one, I used to do, like, one event a year where I had a lot of friends who went. I made a lot of friends who went there. I still am friends with people that I met from going to this convention. And so after sort of, like, the first outing, it was really more just an excuse to socialize with my friends. But even then, I was spending a significant chunk of my income at the time, to basically go on a holiday that was me flying to, California for less than a week. Possibly having to share a hotel room with people I didn't know very well, which was always a little bit dicey and weird. And then actually getting to see and socialize with my friends for, like, a very small amount of the time, because most people had activities they wanted to do, or activities they had to do if they were, like, you know, hosting things or doing other stuff. And so everyone seemed to have a busy schedule, and so actually being able to, like, sort of coordinate and actually get to spend time with anybody that you knew and liked was kind of a gamble. And considering how much it cost to actually go to there, that felt like, well, I'm paying, you know, like, let's say at a bare minimum, I'm paying, like, several £100 to be here, and I'm gonna spend a cumulative hour socializing with my mates. Is it worth it? I don't know if that's worth it, you know? Like, I never got into the queues to meet, like, the big star guests that were there. But I would certainly, you know, like, those were the kinds of places where, okay, so this was, just for full disclosure, this was for a TV show called Doctor Who that you might have heard of, which has been going on for a really, really long time. So there were, like, the big prestige guests who were, like, super popular and probably part of, like, more recent seasons of the show. And then there were the not prestige, but possibly, like, more niche guests who were, like, you know, retired actors who were on the show in the 60s or the 70s and that kind of thing, and usually had shorter queues. So if you wanted to actually, like, hang out a bit and get to know some of those people, you probably could. And indeed, I made friends off the back of that, so, you know, make of that what you will. But that was a whole thing. I don't do that anymore, and I haven't done that in many, many years because my interest in the media has waned. And I just realized I was spending my entire holiday budget for the year going to the same place over and over again. And I was like, you know, I could just go visit other friends who just live other places. You know, it's like, oh, I know someone who lives in New York. Well, I'll go see them in New York then. Or, like, I just want to go to I don't know, France for a couple of days. I'll just do that. So yeah, kind of the shine of it kind of wore off after a few years, especially I think after I got married as well. And taking my partner to one of these events, and wasn't as familiar with the source media, so he didn't care about like meeting famous people particularly. Apart from, I think the only big sort of like famous person encounter that I think he got kind of excited about was that the little like van that takes you from the hotel to the airport was very full, and it meant that veteran actor Julian Glover was also taking the same van as us and was sitting so much next to my husband he was practically on my husband's knee. And my husband was sitting there politely pretending not to notice that, like, this guy was in a Star War. It was very funny. Anyways. Turner says, oof, yeah, I've not been to a con outside the UK. The prices get eye-watering here, never mind international travel too. Oh my god, yes. I've been to a few conventions in the UK of varying levels of quality, I would say. I went to some smaller conventions which were more or less just like maybe 100 people rammed into a pub, that if you paid just a little bit extra, there was like a cocktail reception the night before that was usually pretty fun, because you actually got to hang out with people and talk to people and see your friends. So that was fun. And it was just a single day, which was also a much smaller commitment than something that's like a whole sort of long weekend situation. This looks a little, I don't know if it's dusty or if it's been airbrushed, but I'm just going to give my entire palette a wipe down. Turnip says, I mean, I think I'd be the same if I was sitting next to a Star Wars. You know, the one thing I will say is that I did kick myself the time that my friends and I went to the Star Wars Celebration event. I wouldn't call it, it's not really a convention, but whatever it is. The Star Wars Celebration event in, that was in London. And I was wearing my t-shirt that has, in like the Star Wars title font, you know the one, but it says Star Trek. And that's the funniest I've ever been and that I will ever be. And Carrie Fisher was there, and I really regret not getting to interact with Carrie Fisher, because obviously she is very sadly no longer with us, and she seems like she was flipping awesome, so that's a little bit sad. But apart from that, anyways. But yeah, so I'm kind of torn about, like, conventions and stuff. It just feels a little bit, you know, like lining up for signings and kind of thing. I don't really care about having people's signatures on stuff. And it also feels very like, you know, meeting someone and getting something signed at a convention is kind of, it's a customer service transaction. And I have just enough, like, extremely low self-esteem and preemptive rejection sensitivity that there is always the fear in the back of my mind that this person who is transactionally signing something for me, are they being nice to me just because it's their job to be nice to me, or are they actually happy to see me? You know what I mean? And once that brainworm gets kind of embedded in there, and again, you know, like, a lot of the people who do signings and that kind of thing at conventions and what have you are there because they genuinely enjoy meeting and interacting with people, and you know, find that fulfilling and fun, and, you know, will, like, you know, if you see them again, like, a few years later, they'll be like, oh, hey, it's you again, kind of thing, and we're really, really excited to see you, because they just have that kind of personality where they find this kind of interaction enjoyable. But then there are also people, unfortunately, and I really hope it's a smaller number, who are really just there to get paid. And I say this because I have absolutely encountered those. And it kind of makes you feel bad, you know? Like, I understand that, yes, like, this is a customer service thing, and you are being paid to be nice to these people, but also, I don't know, why do it if it's not something that brings you any actual joy, you know? It's not like people who work customer service jobs because that is the job that they can get. Like, no one is holding you at gunpoint and forcing you to go to a convention. Anywho, yeah, Turnip says, yeah, I understand that. I'm gutted I never had a chance to meet her. Yeah, absolutely. She seems like she was a real special character and a real excellent person. So that made me a little bit sad. But apart from that, I'm also a shy plum. So, doing social, terrifying. The best of times. Turnip says, when I go to a con, I have the most fun in artist alleys chatting to people there and asking about their stalls. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Um, that is a lot of fun. I do appreciate a good, and again, not having been to many conventions in a very, very long time, I do appreciate a good artist alley. There was a Comic-Con that I don't know if it still happens, but there was a Comic-Con that went on for a few years in my city of residence, which because my city of residence is not that big, it wasn't that big of a convention, which is kind of nice. But I had a friend who did the artist alley there a couple times, so it was nice to just, like, get to hang out with my friend as a consequence of that. I suppose that's a little bit kind of special as well, because obviously that was somebody that I already knew, but, like, yeah, just getting to actually, like, interact with other artists. I was invited. Last Christmas, I was invited to have a table at a Comic-Con here in the city. I think it was being run by one of the universities. And someone from the event reached out to me and asked if I wanted to have a table. And I did seriously consider tabling there, but I ended up declining because I think it was a fairly busy time for me already. I didn't really know anything about the event. And I was a little concerned that basically because I don't really do events at the moment. I don't really do artists' alleys and tables and that kind of thing because it does involve extra layers of expense and a lot of risk, I would say, generally. Because obviously you not only have to have what you hope is an amount of merch that you'll be able to sell in the space of that, like, event's day or days, but you also have to try and guess what is going to be the most popular items at an event is tough. So you need to have a reasonable amount of merch available. You also need attractive fixtures and stuff on which to display said merch. You also need transport to be able to transport your items and your merch to and from the event. It gets to be a lot of stuff. And, you also need public liability insurance if you're going to trade at an event. So yeah, it ends up being a lot of stuff, a lot of expense. I think it was on a day that I technically normally work at, like, the regular job that I do in order to pay the bills. So I would have had to swap around my working days at my day job, or, fake sick, which I don't feel good about. I don't want to pretend to be sick and then go sell at a Comic-Con. That's very sus, and I would never, ever, ever do that. For legal reasons, that was a joke. But yeah, I mean, it's not as bad. It's not nearly as bad in terms of, like, the actual outlay of expense in the first place if you are, if you have a table at a con that is in the place where you live. But as soon as it goes outside of your city, you're then also looking at the costs of, like, transport and accommodations as well to factor in. So you kind of have to know that you're going to do reasonably well at an event like that. For me, it would just be, can I finagle my way to get all this stuff on the bus to the venue? Neo, thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the posture check, and thank you for asking a question about tea. I would love to do all of these things, and I hope you have a lovely lurk as well. But yeah, Turnip says it sounds scary pricey. I would love to table at a con eventually, though. Absolutely. I think, obviously, the best and easiest way in is somewhere where the table space is free or cheap. And sometimes in smaller, more local events, you may be able to get a table for free or cheap. That's the best choice for starting out. But bear in mind that the trade-off of having a table that's free or cheap is the likelihood that you're not going to sell that much stuff because they're not anticipating nearly as much foot traffic as like a major Comic-Con. And also, depending on the vibe of the event, you might end up with an audience who's just not feeling what you are putting out there. And I've experienced, having in a previous life tabled at events, that happens too, and it's fun. Anyways. Right. I am posture checking. Ooh, across the universe. On the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. And I'm sorry to anyone who has that stuck in their head now. Oh, it is... I am not kidding when I say that comes into my head like every few weeks and then won't go away for a while. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, consider yourself blessed because it is an earworm. Anyways, Neo wants to know about tea. Thank you, Neo. Today's tea, if this is what you're wondering about, is buttermint. And it looks really dusty. That's just bits of leaf that I'm getting to the bottom of the bag, and when you get to the bottom of a bag of loose tea, that's often where like the smaller, sort of somewhat more broken bits end up falling to, because even if the loose leaf tea is, reasonably large leaf bits, it ends up getting a little bit crunched up in transit no matter what you do, so you end up with some little bits at the bottom. And I'm reaching the little bits stage, so there's some dust in the bottom of my tea, but maybe I can use it to read my fortune later. Which is the ancient art of chirurgimancy that I definitely remember the name of. Oh no, and I now lost one of his leaves. But anyways, got a question for you, chat. If you're drinking an infused beverage that doesn't actually contain specifically leaves of some kind from the Camellia sinensis plant, which is the scientific name for the tea plant, do you still call it tea? Do you call it like an herbal tea? Do you call it rooibos tea? That kind of thing? Or do you call it like an infusion? Because I cannot imagine going through my life referring to mint as an infusion and not just I'm having a cup of hot mint tea. But some people get very, very, very specific about if it's not made from the tea plant, it is not tea and you should not call it that. But in actual, like, modern English usage, does anybody, in just standard usage, if someone asks you, can I have a cup of tea, please? And then you go through, sort of your cupboard and they're like, oh, I'll have mint. Do you go, that's not a tea? Or do you just make them a mint tea? I don't know. Anyways, the tea sounds delicious, says Turnip. It is. Turnip, it is so good. It is so good. They released it as like a seasonal exclusive. This is Bird and Blend tea, by the way, for anyone who's... Actually, no, I was going to say for anyone in the UK, but actually I'm pretty sure they ship worldwide. Hashtag not sponsored, but like if they wanted to, I'd be into that. They did this buttermint tea, I think last year, as like a seasonal special in the autumn, and then it went away, and I was so gutted. But they seem to have brought it back as a permanent addition to the tea to their like core collection, and I'm so happy because it's really nice. That said, they used to do... There are a few teas that they phased out that I'm very sad about. Like, there was this one that they did that was like a hojicha, so like a roasted green tea, but it had almondness to it. And it's so good. So good. Roasty almond tea? Absolutely delicious. But never mind. Let me catch up with chat. Turnip says, there's a con near me that's genre targeted for the sake of not doxing myself, that is very fair. Please don't dox yourself. And I would love to table there, as there's basically a set theme. I just don't think I'd have enough merch prepped in time. Oh well, I'll table invent eventually. It does take a lot of prep, and it does take an amount of money to be able to do, and you want to have a reasonable range of items on offer as well, I feel like. It's a lot, and it's scary, and it is a real gamble. You know, I know people who do art for a living, and will sometimes go to a con and think this is going to be really good because it gets a lot of footfall, and yet, you know, like, the artist alley is just set up in a way that not a lot of people are actually passing through it, and they end up making less money than they do in a smaller event. So it's a crapshoot. And you don't always know how one is going to go compared to another, and it's a financial risk, and I'm very risk averse. So it scares me, so I haven't done it. There's an event that goes on around Christmas time in November in my city of residence that was set up by the local sort of Etsy sellers group. I closed my Etsy shop. So when the call came through for, like, you know, are there artisans out there who want to table at this event, I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to apply, because I don't have, like, I'm a small independent creator, but I don't have an Etsy shop anymore. Oh no, so I haven't done, even though I feel like that would be a nice, small, fairly well-tailored event for my stuff. I don't sell on Etsy. It's not, and the thing is, the event isn't run through actually Etsy. This is like an unofficial group, so they might be like, yeah, sure. But I don't know, and that scares me. Anyways. The tea sounds delicious this turnip, it really is. Archon, hello Archon, welcome in, how you doing? Says, I call it an infusion, but unnecessarily pedantic is my middle name. Hello there, my pendant friend, it's nice to see you. Welcome on in. And it's good to know that people actually do that, because I genuinely wasn't sure if anyone did. But yeah, anyways. Turnip says, I never thought of that. I always thought tea was what you described as an infusion. I thought the name referred to the process, but the more you know. It is complicated. I think for a lot of people in standard usage, tea is just an infusion. But for some people, it is... More specifically, if I'm talking about tea, I mean, like, from the tea plant. So, it depends on who you ask, is the answer. Life is a crapshoot, says Archon. Also true. Hello, Gumby. How's it going? It's lovely to see you, and welcome on in. Also, hello, Aoife. Did I say hello, Aoife? Hello, Aoife. I'd punch them, too, just so they remember for next time. I call everything tea, and I don't punch people. It's probably best not to punch people for the most part. I think you might hurt your hand, and you might hurt their feelings, or whatever body part you punch. And that sounds mean and uncomfortable. Anyways. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I think I spoke for a bit there without properly taking a breath, which is my bad. I love this gold color. I think it turned out really, really pleasantly. Very happy with it. I hope people like it. But anyways, yes, that's why I haven't had a table at a physical in-person event in a really long time. It is a big gamble, and you kind of got to have some kind of money in order to be able to do it. I don't... There is or was a group in my city, not Etsy affiliated, but just like independent doers of things from this area who do like a Christmas market every year. But I feel like it must be like invite only or something, because I've never seen any sort of like, we're looking for vendors for our independent arts event. I always just hear about our independent arts event is happening on these days. And I'm like, oh, I would have loved to do that. Why didn't anyone ask me? Well, fine then. And then I feel a little bit butthurt about it. And then I end up going anyways and having a mince pie and buying some earrings that I'll never wear because I only have one ear piercing. Anywho. Not that I've ever done that. I absolutely have done that. Sometimes you go up to a table and you strike up a conversation with someone and all they sell is earrings and you only have one piercing, but you feel real bad because their art is super cute and you want to support them, but not a lot of people have been buying things from them, so you buy a pair of earrings anyways, even though you know you're never going to wear it. Because you just want to show them a little support. Anyway, that's very normal of me. Anywho, Gumby says, breathing properly while talking is something I'm just inexplicably bad at sometimes. Me too! Solidarity, my friend. Absolute maximum solidarity. Hell yeah. Excuse me. Oh no. Oh no. Calm down. Sorry, again, my airways are having a struggle. But on the other hand, I buy stickers from my artist friends all the time. All the time I am buying stickers from my artist friends. Do I ever stick them anywhere? No. No, I keep them in a nice little pile. Carefully collated into little files so that I can just look at them. And I just look at them sometimes and be like, my friend made that. They're so talented. They're such a skilled creator. This brings me such joy to look at. And I know the person what made it. And I think they're great. And I really enjoy doing that, but I never stick them on things because I have that absolute sort of, when it comes to stickers, despite the number of stickers that are available in my current shop update, despite the number of stickers that are currently available in my shop update, I am a commitment phobe when it comes to actually sticking them places, but based on polls I've done of the community, I am not alone in this, and a lot of y'all don't like to stick down your stickies. I see you, and I feel you, my friends. Anyways, in case you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, I updated my shop last week. And we have, among other things, some stickies. Here's one, if I can get it to show it to you. I can't. Okay, hold up. There we go. There's the Instagram post of it. It's some stickies. Look at this little friend. No, you can't, because it's still not... Why is it not? Okay, you're seeing a black screen. Blast. Hold up. You're gonna have to look at my Instagram page for a second. Sticky. Can you see the sticky now? Yes, it is sticky. But I never stick them anywhere because that's scary. But there they are on my Shopee. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff in my shop update. It's largely very autumnal and gay. Because I'm those things, and it makes me feel happy. Anyways, including some bookmarks, which are very hard to display online because nobody likes the long boy picture shape. But I'm proud of them, so there you go. I never use stickers despite buying a zillion, says Turnip. Mood. 100% mood. My stickers very rarely get stuck. My husband sticks stickers, but he sticks stickers of, like, the stickers I make, of which I have a large number. So, he just gets to have some, because I love him, and he lives here. So he'll stick my stickers on things. But I think that's the only, I think that might be a large part of the reason why. So he's got loads of stickers on, like, his laptops and stuff. Including... when they made Marvel superhero Band-Aids, I can just see over there on one of the laptops, there's just a plaster that is the Hulk. Because why not? But yeah, anyways, but yeah, I never put stickers on things because I'm a scared, anxious little bean. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm gonna pick up some of this absurdly vibrant green to make a nice green book color, because I think that would be pretty. The best idea I saw for that was albums made from sticker backing paper so you could use the stickers and not at the same time. Oh, that's very clever. I do appreciate a sticker book. When I was did anybody else have a sticker book when they were little? Because I had a sticker book when I was little, and that was amazing and very fun. And I don't think I even stuck all of my stickers in the sticker book, because I think technically my sticker book was a photo album. So it had, like, a sheet of like clear sort of acetate or something on top of the backing paper, so I could just slot my stickers in like you would photos in a photo album, and they would be kept all nice and stuff. I especially liked, I had some Super Mario stickers that had a fragrance. They were supposed to smell like pizza. It was really stupid. But you know, it was the late 80s, and that's what we were into back then. 'Cause yeah. So, yeah, appreciated the scratch and sniff. It was scratch and sniff. So you were supposed to like scratch the surface of it. It had sort of like a mottled surface that I assume had some like scent embedded in it, and you would scratch it and then be like, "Oh, pizza. Mmm. Wow, that's a pleasant smell." It wasn't very good. It wasn't very nice. It mostly just smelled like oregano, if I'm being honest. And I wouldn't say I particularly enjoyed it. But never mind. But you know, that was a thing that existed. Anyways, we've been on some weird tangents already so far this stream. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not that sorry. I'm mildly sorry. Okay. We have some green books. Oh no, every once in a while I don't realize that I'm like drifting off screen, and I apologize for I'm just going to move the palette off screen so that I could actually have the painting a little bit more centered. I feel like that's better for right now. I feel like that green is a little bit too pale, so I'm just going to give it a second pass. That's better. Okie dokie. Happy little green book over here. And trying to decide where the books will be randomly placed. This is really hard. Like, it really is. What's going to feel random enough without feeling not sort of looping back around to like too perfectly random, you know? So I'm going to put another green book right here with this red book in between it. There we go. My moderator / spouse is texted to ask if we need anything from the shop other than loo roll. I don't think so. I love you. There. I probably didn't need to read that out, but just in case you were curious. Okay. I really enjoy this method of sort of crafting a harmonious set of colors, which was to take my sort of base like rainbow of paint colors and then add specific like one color into each of them. I find that very enjoyable. I found it really interesting to see which colors have made a more demonstrable difference to the other paints. Like, I found that, honestly, like, the Potter's Pink one was really subtle, because Potter's Pink is a quite subtle pigment, versus this Lunar Red Rock, which is quite an intense pigment by comparison, and has done some pretty significant changes to these base colors, which I really love to see. Scissor says, just lurking for a while. Have a lovely stream. Thank you, Scissor. Have a lovely, lovely lurk. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. The palette seems to be working well, says Turnip. And Turnip's doing a lurk as well. Thank you very much for the lurk. I hope you have a good one. But yeah, I'm a really large this palette enjoyer, I would say. It is very pretty. It has a very warm, colder weather vibe, I feel like. With the way it's kind of shifted everything towards that sort of brownish, sort of warm brown vibe. And this is quite a brown piece. I am injecting some green into the bookshelves over here, but that kind of harmonizes with Terry, who's quite green as well over there. So I like that. That's enjoyable. Speaking of warm things, I gifted myself a perfume subscription a little while ago, which is basically they produce a perfume once every quarter and they send you a bottle of it. And you receive it sort of smell unsmelt. And then if you don't like it, you can just return it and you'll get a refund. And I gotta be honest, I got the new one today and I think I'm gonna return it. One thing that I've noticed about the smells of this brand is that I've had 3 of them so far, and it kind of feels like they're playing a game of telephone with each other. Like, the first one that I had was very fresh and green, kind of citrus smelling, but not like a sweet citrus, like a fresh, like I don't like grassy citrus, like bitter orange and that kind of vibe to it, which felt really sort of fresh springtimey to me. And then the next one that they sent was like it still had some of those like sharp green citrusy notes, but they were tempered by sort of a bit of warm spice and kind of a like nutmeggy feel, and the whole thing gave me a vibe of like sophisticated bubblegum, which sounds like a really weird way to describe something that I do think smells nice, but I did think it smelled nice. And then this one that I got literally in the post today smells almost exactly like the last one, except minus the like sort of bitter citrus smells. So it's just warm, sort of nutmeggy spice, and a little bit sweet. But when it started out, it had this sort of like burnt, I don't know, like there's a combination of sort of smoke and licorice. And smoke, great. Licorice, horrible. Hate it. Disgusting, awful, do not want anywhere near my nose or my mouth. No offense to licorice lovers, I just don't enjoy it personally. And I find that really, really strange that they've all kind of been the next one is quite similar in some way to the last one. Like I think if you put sort of like numbers 1 and number 3 together, they smell nothing alike. But number 1 smells like number 2, and number 2 smells like number 3. I just don't like it, so I think I'm gonna have to send it back, and I think I'm gonna have to find a different fragrance for the autumn because yeah, I don't like it. There's a perfume that I got a sample of that is very autumnal and that I think I might get. They do like those little like roll-on tubes that are a lot less expensive than buying like a bottle of it that you spritz. I think I might get one of those because cheap, but also it smells like the walkout basement of someone who has like a little, like it's wood paneled. I don't know. And it's somehow that smells like autumn, and it's very cozy as well. It's tapping into very specific memories for me in a pleasant way. What other color do I want to make book? Brown? I could make brown book. Brown or like violet. There's not a lot of violet in this piece, but I don't know if violet is going to be a little bit too much. But on the other hand, my brush is dipping. I think we're going to try some violet books, because to be honest, the violet in this palette really, like, in the real world, it reads fairly burgundy, actually. So I think it might work really well in this context. So if I just do, like, one over here and see how I feel about it. Ooh, yeah. See, because that's not like a bright purple or anything. That's more like a burgundy. It's like a wine color. It's very sophisticated. I dig it. I think that's good. Okay. Okay, let's do that. I mean, Terry's a sophisticated fellow. Look at him enjoying his delightful book here and having a very relaxing time in his little magic study. Love that for him. God, I wish that were me. I wish I had a study with a comfy chair and bookshelves galore where I could sit and read. Not that I would. I would sit and play ooblets because it's me. But still, hello, Ruby. How are you doing? Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Ruby says, "Hello. I've just been lurking while doing my skincare." Oh, wonderful. I hope that your skincare went well. And welcome on in. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Hello, hello. I recently bought myself a new skincare item entirely superficially because the packaging had a cute illustration of a bear on it. Um, it came from the like Korean skincare store in my city center, and it actually makes my face feel really soft and nice. It has this incredibly velvety texture, so I love it, and I'm very happy that I bought it because there was a cute bear on it because it actually makes my skin feel really good. So yay. Love that for me. I got really into skincare for a while there, and I've kind of settled down a bit. I think just because I found like this is a thing that doesn't make my face hurt, and this is a thing that seems nice. And I've kind of found things like just, this is a moisturizer that works for me personally. So I'm just kind of using those thems, having a good time. But yeah. The thing, if you stick a cute cartoon bear on the packaging, I'm a happy camper, and there is a larger chance that I'll buy it. But I will say it's from Mixsoon, which is a Korean company. In case anyone is curious, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one that has a bear on it, and it's very good. And it's not prohibitively expensive as far as skincare goes, and it seems like it's gonna last a long time, so that's good. Anyways. Ruby says my moisturizer is going to run out in like probably 2 weeks. It's very nice. It's this, the CeraVe cream. Cool. And it gets absorbed into your face and feels just like skin. I love that. I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but I've had the experience with like many a moisturizer where, it's just like, yeah, I can feel that my face is feeling soft and hydrated, but it just feels like there's a layer of grease sitting on top of my face all day long, which I personally don't find pleasant, having that feel of like there's something on my face all the time. Like I can never wear, part of the reason that I would never wear makeup is that I can't stand the way it feels on my face. It all feels bad. Even people who are like, "Oh no, this one feels like nothing," and then I'll try and be like, "Oh yes, it does." But yeah, very much appreciate a moisturizer that just kind of soaks in and is very unobtrusive, but also gets the job done. Anyways, a bit gritty on application, but once it sinks in, it has a very nice texture, says Ruby. Nice, not greasy or chalky at all. I love that for you. I'm so glad that you found that. I'm sad to hear that it's running out, but I hope that you are able to get more of it. I don't think I've used that brand, but I'm given to understand that it is a lot of people's like very much mainstays because it is just very reliable. So that's awesome. There's just a couple of books left, so I'm just gonna do them with brown, I think. So this is a blend of the Lunar Red Rock with Mahogany Brown, which I think we talked about last time. Sounds like the name of a of like Mahogany Brown, girl detective. She's got her own series of young adult novels where she solves, I don't know, maybe not murders if it's young adult novels, but whatever the level of sort of the things that Nancy Drew would have solved, I suppose. Anyways. Right. It is mahogany. It is brown. It's a good color. I feel like these books look weird, but I think it's just because we haven't added any details, shading, or line weight to them, which tends to be kind of a weird stage for an artwork to be in. I mean, not that you need to add details, shading, and line weight to things. You can create some very effective art with just, flat colors, lineless styles, all that jazz. I've sort of at some point entered into the school of more is more with my work. Like just as I've gone on through the years, that I've just added more details. I should be like finding ways to streamline and making things go quicker, but no, I'm just making things more difficult for myself. Anyways, it is well loved, says Ruby. CeraVe is like a neutral bare bones product, you know, which is really good if you have sensitive skin as well. I have very sensitive skin. Though I'm beginning to think that part of the reason my skin is so sensitive is that I have a food allergy I haven't identified yet. I don't want to have to go to a doctor for it, because they'll probably tell me it's all in my head. They'll probably tell me that, no, you don't have an ADHD because you're a girl. So, have you considered losing weight? There are a lot of reasons that I don't go to the doctor very often. Do not practice what I preach, by the way, on that. That's just personal hang-ups. Anyways, usually what dermatologists recommend. I have used Cetaphil, and it is indeed, I can vouch for the fact that it is incredibly plain and will not irritate you. I use a lip tint, which if I wipe it away, there's a layer that stays, so it's just my skin feeling, ooh! Can put Vaseline on too as well. I think those are so neat. The, like, stains. I think that's such a neat concept. Assuming that it does wash off eventually when you do want to get rid of it, I suppose. If it's so persistent that you can't get rid of it at the end of the day, that's a bit of a pain in the backside. Though I did used to have a very staining, non-transfer lipstick that I bought specifically. As you may or may not know, if you've seen me ever, I'm not a big, like, makeup person at all. I'll put on a bit of lipstick if I feel like I look anemic without it. But really only for, like, videos and extremely special events when I want people to think that I look nice. But one of those events where I wanted people to look nice was my wedding. So I bought a transfer proof red lipstick for that, because I did not want my partner and I to have smudges all over our face after we smooched. Because I knew we were going to have to smooch in front of a live audience. To be honest, okay, so let's get personal for a second. And one of the things I remember the most clearly about my wedding, which was kind of a blur because we were both extremely nervous because it was our wedding. So, doy, but anyways. When they were like, okay, you're married now, you can kiss, I think we did do a smooch, but then we just hugged for, like, as long as possible. We just did not want to stop the hug, and eventually they were like, okay, there's other things we have to do, so we're gonna have to pry you apart for a minute. And we were like, no. I just remember not wanting to stop the hug, because I was just like, this was really scary, and we did it, and we're married now. Cling. Anyways. Mesh, thank you very much for the 5-stream steak. 5 fingies for you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hope you're having a good one. Thank you for the steak. Enjoy your 5 steaks. Ruby says, is there a problem with having kiss marks on you on your wedding? I mean, no, not particularly. I think we mostly just didn't want to. Also, I will say that my husband and I, despite both being, like, quite white, in terms of complexion, have very different coloring. So I'm very cool toned. I tend more towards sort of like pinkness and sort of the cooler end of the spectrum. I wouldn't necessarily say that he's more sort of like in the neutral zone. And so what's a good color on me isn't going to necessarily make him look his best, let's say. Anyways, but that's a very good question. Okay. I need to decide what to paint next. Oh no, pressure. Speaking of pressure, my sinuses are feeling it right now. Well, I might have to take an ibuprofen before stream is done. But hey, at least we finished doing the flat colors on all the books on the bookshelf. That I feel very, very good about. I want to make a kind of... Okay, this is going to be kind of a weird color combination, I feel like. But what I'm going to do is I want to get sort of an antique feeling to this, the, like, bottom portion of this, that's way too wet. Where's my oh, shoot, I thought I had a tissue. I'm gonna have to grab another piece of tissue. I want a nice antiquarian feeling to this, the bottom portion of this unit. What, oh, God, I lost the word. Lamp. This lamp. So I'm gonna kind of underpaint it like so, but then I want to try and just insert a tiny amount of... Oh, that's not a tiny amount. That has just bled to high heck. That's not what I was hoping for. That's fine. You know what we do with that? We blot. Ooh! The blot is revealing some interesting stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. I like that, actually. I really like that. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of this color, and then I'm just, what's the tiniest speck of green to try and give it a bit of a, kind of a patina, but I am going to blot some of this off because it's a little bit, I don't want it to look moldy, I just want it to look like it's got a bit of a patina, that's all. Yeah, there we go. That's not moldy, that's a patina. Patinas are neat. We're fine with a bit of a patina, as long as it doesn't look moldy, it just looks like it has a patina, okay? Anyways, there's a difference. At least I think that's the word I seek for that. I hope that's the word I seek for that. Yay! My moderator / Bus is on his way home. That's exciting. I'm gonna text him. Heart emoji. Okay. I'm just gonna look at a picture of an oil lamp. Or I can not spell that correctly and search for an oop lamp instead. Let's see if Google figures out what I mean. It did! Hooray! Anyways, oil lamps are nice. Scary, but nice. Anyways, we've got a handsome little flame happening in the center there. So I think what I might do here is kind of just go in with, oh, I've already got some yellow on the palette actually. Kind of go in with just a tiny amount of this yellow. Kind of over the whole thing. And then if I apply a little bit of the orange to kind of the outer edges and let it kind of blend inwards. Which looks real jank at the moment, but bear with. Just bear with. It's not gonna feel. It's not gonna look jank in a second. Just blend that out. Blend, 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 blend. Okay, and then let me go back in with a little bit more yellow. And then we blend some more. Get rid of some of the absurd amounts of water that were apparently beading up on our brush. And then we blend out a little bit more. Yay! Plop, plop, plop. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, we have fire! Right. in addition to that, I'm wondering if I should just put like a really thin layer of just glow in the vicinity and then kind of blend the whatever the wall color ends up being into it at that point. So I might just go ahead and do that. This side a bit of the glow is kind of occupied by this plant, which is fine. Like so. Yay! Okay, we have a bit of a glow. Does it look super jank right now? Yes. But that is the stage of the painting we're still at, and we will move through the jank into exciting new territories as we go. Won't that be fun? I still haven't decided what color I want to actually make the wall. I was kind of hoping that by this point in the painting it would kind of come to me what the color of the wall should be, and you know what? It hasn't. It absolutely has not. Oh no. Beans. Okay. I don't know what color the wall wants to be. This book I'm going to do, I think, with my blue. Because I want it to feel, you know, visible. I think blue is going to be a good color for that. Even if this book is weird shape, it's fine. Anyways, what's everyone been up to this week? How has your week been? What fun things have you gotten up to? Hope you've gotten up to some fun stuff. I've mainly been playing Ooblets and trying to plan some artworks. I have a fairly good idea of some of the pieces that I want to do for Stream Inc. and some of the pieces that I want to do for the rest of this month, which is good. Have I done any of them? No. Oh well. We'll get there. We will get there. I just am not there yet. That's okay. Yeah, I think that was a good choice for book color. I think it looks nice. And I also want to very lightly apply just the tiniest whisper of color. And when I say color, I mean like the barest amount of, it isn't just pure white, to Terry's top. Just to kind of pull it out of the territory of just looking like it hasn't been painted and actually give it a little bit more dimension than that. Like, it's so subtle, but that is absolutely, it is so subtle, but you can see a difference. And that's an important difference, I think. And then I also need to paint in that little patch, which I think I'll do in yellow. I might even give this like a little subtle check pattern or something to this patch fabric, just so it has some visual interest from that. I think that might be fun. And actually, I think what I might do is can I apply the tiniest amount of a warm glow to this little doily here. So again, it's not stark white, it's being lit by a fairly warm piece of equipment. So it wants to not be bright white. It wants to be, you know, white-ish, but have a little bit of a warmth to it. Like, much better. Yay! And actually, saying that, I think we can probably take Terry's tunic a shade further as well, actually. Looking at this, then this wants to be a little deeper than that. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Much better. All right. I have to decide what color the wall wants to be. Spoilers, it's probably going to be some kind of brown. Because I think that's nice and cozy. And yeah, I think I'm going to drop a super quick BRB. And come back in just a second. During which I will hopefully try and figure out what color that wants to be. And hoping to get some nice, pleasant weather effects for the window as well. But I think we'll do the wall first, and then the window, and then look at doing all of the other bits. So, super quick BRB. I'll be back in just a minute. You are all breathtaking. I hope you have a nice BRB time. Enjoy the BRB screen. Enjoy the BRB song. If it's playing, it's not playing. Enjoy the BRB song in just a moment, and I will be back in a minute. You're all breathtaking. See you shortly. Alright, friends, I'm back. Hello. Say goodbye to the BRB song. And indeed, say goodbye to the BRB screen. Hello! I'm back. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a good one. It's wonderful to be back. Hope you had a good BRB thing. Time. Anyways, hello again. I'm back. And having given it basically no thought whatsoever, I have determined that I think what I want to do for the wall is to just make it brown. So let's mix up a nice wall brown, and I'm going to use a larger brush for this because it's a reasonable amount of space, but this brush also has a nice fine point for the bits that need to be pointy. So it feels like a good compromise all around. So I'm going to take some of this brown. I think it wants to be a reasonably nice sort of warm brown, but I'll add some yellow to it. I think I'm just going to keep adding bits to this brown until it feels like it's the right brown. Let's just swap places so you can see what I'm doing with this brown. So I'm starting with my mahogany brown that's blended, as with all of these colors, with lunar red rock. And so it's a very reddy, it's a very reddy brown, which I think is a good nice sort of gentle place to start. Sorry, I just had to ban someone. That's fine. It's a spam. Nothing serious. But yeah, a very warm brown, a very red brown. I feel like we can give it some additional depth. Just throw everything at it until it feels like it's the right brown. So I'm adding some yellow to this brown. I don't know, is this going to make it more of an orangey brown? No, I don't think it has. It's made it a blonder brown, certainly. But it hasn't pulled it into the territory of, like, our orange by any stretch. So that's really good. I'm wondering what happens if we add a smidgen of blue. And whether that does anything interesting to the brown. Yes, it does. That's made it a little bit more kind of neutral, I would say, and kind of deepened it a little bit, which is really interesting. I think I want to add some black to it as well. I really am just throwing everything at this color now until we have, hopefully, enough paint. Hopefully we end up with enough paint at the end of this. See, okay, that's got like some depth and some layers to it, but now I kind of feel like it isn't a warm enough brown. So I want to come back to our original base brown and add some more of that. So let's just wake that up with some water. Load up our brush. Mix and stir. And that's a brown that I'm really happy with. That's really nice and warm and cozy. This feels like a mug of hot chocolate. I feel like it's not reading as warm on camera as it is IRL, but hopefully when I put that down on the canvas, you will see what I'm talking about. As to like the warm fuzzies of this brown. Though that being said, do I want to test it out on a bit of scrap first just to be sure I like it? Yes, I'm gonna use the backing piece of this watercolor paper block. Ooh. That's a very cozy color. That's an I'm going to snuggle a bear, which you should not do because they will harm you. Why is it that some of the most dangerous creatures in the world, like extremely dangerous to humans if you get too close to them, will absolutely attack and hurt and possibly kill you? Why? Why do our brains see them and think, oh, look at the cute little snuggle buddy? You know, like how many people have little, like, cuddly sized plush bears inside their homes that they snuggle in the night times? And how many of you are named Twitch user Sammy Kelch? Because I super do. But yeah, like what's up with that? Like you should not see bear and think, oh, snuggly, and yet they are so stinking cute to us. So stinking cute to us, and so inherently, incredibly dangerous, and should be given plenty of space. And do not attempt to cuddle a bear if you see it in real life. Make a lot of noise before it has a chance to get within your sight lines, so it leaves. Anyways. I was talking about this with somebody, about sort of bears, and was this on stream? Talking about, like, bears and going hiking and stuff in territories where there may be bears. And, I mean, people do, obviously. Thankfully, there aren't really bears in the region where I grew up in Canada, but there are certainly bears in Canada. And the general sort of knowledge is if you suspect that you're in an area where bears live, if you're passing through it, to just make a lot of noise so that they will avoid the area that you are passing through. In Japan, they will give you, or you can get, basically like bells to put on your rucksack and stuff to make a lot of noise for areas where there are likely to be bears, so that the bears will leave you alone and not go anywhere near those areas while there are people there, and not get spooked and not attack you. And you know, I love the idea of not being attacked by bears, so happy with that. But also happy to just not go hiking in areas where there might be bears and I need to put bells on my rucksack to keep bears from attacking me. Are you heckin' kidding me? Ah! Scary! No. I could conceivably just not go hiking, you know? That feels better to me. Though I do know someone who lives in a fairly non-urban, fairly wildernessy area, and did, I think, spot a bear in the distance from their back porch, and were like, oh good, I'm glad I moved here. Ah! Oh no! Scary, spooky, scary stuff, indeed. My moderator/spouse is home. I'm gonna have to just hit pause on the painting of this for just a moment to go greet them. 1 moment, please. Hey, darling, welcome home. I love you. And I'm very happy to see you. Dino Nuggies tonight. Is that cool? Wizard. Vegetable medley. Yeah. Does that sound okay? Wizard. Okay. I love you bunches. Yes, darling? Ooh, builders? Thank you. Marry me. Doggy mug is clean. Otherwise fine. Yeah. Love you bunches, babe. Hey, everybody, I'm back. My moderator / spouse has had a long day, and I'm very glad that he is home. And I'm a little concerned that I might have wanted to do a second pass with this color of paint, and I did not mix up enough paint to do it, so this is my one shot. I better do the best that I can with it. Never mind. I think this will be fine. I just, because I'm doing quite a large area, I don't want there to be like obvious seams between the bits where it's kind of starting to dry. And then sort of got painted next to / on top of, because I don't feel like that looks super great, so I want to kind of cut down on that sort of visual. Gonna need to drop some shadows in some places. Like there's a tiny strip of wall you can see here just under the bookshelf that is going to be almost entirely in shadow, so I'll do that last and probably just, I don't know if I should underpaint or overpaint or just mix in some black onto that and just make it very nice and darkened down, because it is basically just a big shadow. Thankfully, the one thing that I was a little bit worried about in mixing up this brown is that it was going to be too close in color to the color of the floor, but actually I think they're distinct enough that's quite visually obvious. But also, I am going to be putting a bit of like floorboard texture into the floor that we won't have on the walls, so I think that should be fine, even if it wasn't as distinctly two browns as I think it is. That was not going to be an insurmountable thing by any stretch. There is just this little sliver here of this tiny, like, this little dot there that is wall visible between the chair and the table. Just that one little dot, which is a little funny to me, but never mind. That's how I designed the thing, so that's how it gonna look. Whatever. Anyways. But yeah, did anyone get up to anything fun this week? I'm going to... Oh, yeah. That's the other thing I need to do. I guess I'm gonna have to get... I guess I'm going to have to get the person in the house with printer access to print a returns label for me, because I don't think I want to keep this perfume. It's just, I don't know. It's like it's one of those things where it's like, it's okay, but is it, I want to keep it okay? And I feel like my answer is probably not. I don't like returning things. I find it... I know there are some people who will just buy way more things than they actually want or need online and then just return, like, but tons of them. And I really don't like doing that, because I feel like in the long run it does create waste. Because, like, for instance, the way that clothing works a lot of the time, if you return something and it's something that's not actually, like, in season anymore, and they're, like, not carrying that in the shop anymore, that might just end up becoming some kind of waste. 'Cause they're not going to resell it, or, it might be, something that, like, oh, well, the box has been opened, so, like, they'll accept the return, but they won't resell it. I mean, you can apparently, at least in the States, I don't know if this is the case here, but in the States, you can buy, like, there are companies that basically just deal in reselling things that people have returned to Amazon, which I find wild. Also feels like somewhat of a crapshoot with regard to what you're gonna get from a service like that. Like, are any of these items actually gonna work? But yeah. Which just tells me that no, oftentimes when you return items, they're not necessarily just, you know, if they're still even if they're still perfectly functional things, they might not end up actually being resold on just as normal, which ends up potentially creating waste. And that makes me feel sad. Because I'm weird like that. So I don't like to return things. But I do know in this case that if I return these things that they will continue to be... They will be resold because basically you send back an unopened box and then they will sell that. I've just realized that there's this little gappy area here that I had not painted in. Oh no. Also these little gaps between the plant. But these areas I feel like should be quite sort of shadowy anyways. So that's probably fine. But also now that I've done that, I want to take a clean brush and pick up a little less of the paint and get to blend in. Lifty, lifty, blendy, blendy. Blendy, blendy, blend. Blendy, blendy, blend. Ah, I think my tea is coming. Hooray. My lovely moderator / spouse has done me a tea. Thank you, sunshine. Oh, it's beautiful. Thanks, babe. Mwah, I love you. Yay. I have a tea, everybody. How exciting. Anyways. Oh, no, that was very wet. Hold up. Okay. Blend, 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 blend. Blend, 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 blend. There we go. Getting some nice gradations of blend in, which is what I would like to see here. Good. And good. Can I pick up a little bit more color for this end of it? Hell yeah. Okay. Neat! We have lamplight. I feel like that looks cute. I hope that looks cute anyways. It feels cute to me. We're getting there. We are definitely getting somewhere with this piece, which also feels really, really, really good. I love that for me. Love that for us. It's starting to feel kind of good, which is great. I'm going to put away that smaller brush for just a moment, and we are going to... I'm just going to pop a layer down. This I'm going to add just some like black on top of, I think. Or maybe mix together the black and the brown, because that's all that behind the bookshelf should be all in shadow, because there's not really any light getting in there anyway, so that should be very, very dark. And for the rest of this, I'm just going to try and sort of glaze over any of the bits that look really brush strokey and not very well blended, because I was running out of paint, as you do.
Attention.
Please use your semi-kelch.
Hi! Welcome in. Oh my goodness, that alert jump scared me. Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How was your stream? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Thrusting leg, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Let me get a shout out for you real quick. Here's hoping I can spell correctly. What were you up to? How was your stream? What did you do today? It is lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. And thank you, Nayla, for the follow as well. Welcome on in. How was your stream? It's lovely to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. How did I not follow yet, says Nayla? I don't know. That's okay. Thank you, beautiful soul. Thank you very much for the follow as well. Welcome on in. Hello, friends. Hello. And how's the stream? Hello, too. Let's see. Nayla, already said hello to, but hello again. And, yeah, Nefra, hello, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for the raid, I really appreciate it. Beautiful souls, welcome in as well. Thrusting leg, hello, hello, welcome in. Helena, how's it going? Lovely to see you. Wonderful, wonderful people, welcome in. You're here at a pivotal moment of the painting where it's starting to feel a little bit less terrible, I feel like, which is always real nice. Anyways, welcome, friends. Stream was great. I was prepping for streaming, doing some sketching, says Nephra. Oh, sweet. That is awesome. As always, Raiders Art Tax, if there's anything you would like to share with us, whether it's what you were working on today or something on your socials or whatever, we would love to see it. Feel free to whisper a link in my direction if you would like to. No pressure, of course. If you just want to go rest, that's okay too. But in the meantime, I should introduce myself to anyone who's new here. Hello, hello. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays, and I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and every once in a while on a Sunday, but mostly Fridays. We are working on a very colder weathery piece here, doing Terry's magic study. He's reading a book. This is Terry. He's a Forg mage. He's reading a book in his cozy little study. He's got a cup of tea. There will be something in the window. It's not just a void out there. He lives in an enchanted forest. Damn it! But I haven't painted it yet. Mr. Scallon, hello. Welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. More Frogus, says Helena. Hell yeah. I love the froggies. Love the painting here, says Nephra, and it's a frog. Hell yeah, frog. We love frog around here. It's a good time. Nicholas says, love the cozy frog. Thank you, friends. You're all very, very kind. In case you're curious as to what my artwork looks like when it's done, Mr. Skellen, thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. How is everyone doing? How are your Thursdays? How have your weeks been? I would love to hear all about them. Currently, I'm having a builder's tea because my moderator / spouse just made me a delicious cuppa, so I'm going to have a sip it. Oh, that's so warm and cozy. Whisper let me know if you got it. Thank you so much. Let me grab that little linky-doo, and we shall have a look. Okay. Oh, fabulous. Can I copy link? And I'm just doing a little shuffling around of linkages in the background, but hopefully this will work. Because of the way that my Streamy-Doo is set up, you have to look at my Instagram first. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. It's just how it does the thing. Anyways, so this is what my art looks like sometimes when it's done. Ta-da! This is a ghost barista, a boorista, if you will, making a nice cup of coffee in their little cafe because I was feeling spooky. Are these watercolors? Yes, they are watercolors. They are indeed. We are working with today a palette of paints that I put together. Basically, what I like to do is I like to take a basic rainbow of watercolors of the most basic set of colors that you can and pick one color to anchor them. So in this case, my rainbow, my rainbow colors all contain equal amounts of lunar red rock, which is a wonderful, beautiful, rich brownish red pigment that is very comfy and cozy and has made for, I think, a very warm, comforting palette as well. But yes, shall we have a little look-see at some of the artworks that Nephra has done? Because we can, so we're gonna... Oh my goodness, y'all, look at this absolute beautiful friend. This is so lovely. I love what you've done with sort of like the dappled lighting as well. It's so pretty. And I love what she's wearing as well. She's so beautiful. This is really, really, really lovely. Oh, this was a draw that's in your style. Sweet. Oh my goodness. Oh, so cute. Very good job, Izzy, and very good job, Nephra. Hell yeah. Oh, this is beautiful as well. Look at the softness of this is very, very lovely. I love it. I love the flowers. I love the little bit of magic that's going on here. I am feeling a lot of things looking at this. It's beautiful. My goodness. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Ah, and you're on Kara as well. Okay, I'm going to have to go follow you over on Kara as well, because I am also on Kara. I'm doing a very good job of using it in very big quotes, and as much as I keep forgetting to post there. Yeah. Oh, hello. Hello. I love this person. She is absolutely delightful. I feel like she's too cool to want to hang out with a little gremlin like me because she is incredibly elegant, but I love her so much. This is gorgeous. My goodness. Let me get another shout out for you as well. It's my OC Saya. I love her so much. Please give her my regards. I very much would appreciate it. She's gorgeous. Please work. Yay, it worked. Go give Nephra a follow. And thank you once again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. I've got one more thing that I need to do, just a basic coloring on, and that's this little bookie over here. This little bookie over here is a little bit of a special case because this book is sitting on the very top of the shelf for very important reasons. And the very important reason that is sitting on the very top of the shelf is that it is imbued, I feel like, with some very powerful magic. So we don't want just anybody to be able to pick up this book. And to that end, I'm going to start with a fairly hefty layer of my black. I hope I'm not the only person here. But honestly, at this point, who knows? Because it's refreshed and now it says I have 0 viewers. So please come back. I'm streaming again. Oh, what a mess. Anyways, hi everybody. I'm back. Hopefully. I'm popping into the chat just to say I'm back. Hopefully, we shall see. Yay! Nephra says we're back. Okay, I'm glad y'all can see me. In that case, let's pop back to this. I am so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My internet did a thing and just decided that despite being fully connected to the internet and absolutely fine, it was just going to not let anything happen, and then it also wouldn't let me reload my OBS. Who knows? Refresh the page, chat. Refresh. I'm here. I am here. Anyways. It's now reporting I have 0 viewers, but I can see there's at least 1 person in chat, so I'm gonna keep on streaming. Hello, everyone. Thank you for anyone who has stuck around during the difficulties there. Thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. That has not happened in a wee minute on stream. So, whomst knows? Not sure what it did there, but as I say, it's been very stable for a while, so I feel like we were probably due some kind of interruption. I shall... Sorry, I couldn't quite get to the mute button before I snizzed. I didn't want to do that on stream. Oh no, but here we are. I do apologize. Anyways, hi. I'm back. I'm back, and I'm ready to think about how I'm going to paint this happening in here. I feel like there is some weather happening outside. It's kind of blue hour-ish, so I want to kind of get that vibe from it. This paint water, oh dang, this paint water is so very, thank you for the bless you, Nephra. I really very much appreciate it. I do try not to sneeze, but it's very difficult not to sometimes. Is my paint water too grody to try and change colors now? I don't know. I feel like it maybe is, but I've just had to inadvertently BRB. So do I really want to BRB again? Probably, possibly not really, but oh, who knows? Anyways, it's good. It's good to be back nonetheless. I don't know whether or not Twitch thinks that I have started a brand new stream. So for anyone who got a new I've just gone live notification, apologies for that, I suppose. But it cannot be helped. Shots, says Sledge. No! This is not a potable beverage. I am actually going to go swap out the water. I will be under 30 seconds. You can time it. Oh, but before I go, Goblins with Problems, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to a fellow goblin in the stream. Lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Back in a sec. dokie. No, you didn't hear me trip over anything on the way. It was fine. Anyways, hi. Hello. Never says, all right, I'm heading out to enjoy the rest of the day with my fiance. Oh, wonderful. I hope the two of you have a lovely, lovely time. And thank you again so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Anyways. And sorry about the moments of chaos there. I would say it is normally a little bit more gentle and cozy around here. I mean, we aim for cozy, but let's be real. It's not always achievable. Heck. Anyways. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of one of my many beverages. Builder's tea, because it's nice and warm. Delicious. Tastes just like tea. Which kind of tastes like... I don't know. I don't know how to explain the taste of tea. In any way that isn't like kind of a self-circular description. I'm going to pre-wet my window segments in the hopes that this might produce some nice, interesting exterior feels. I do think it's the evening. It's getting close to nighttime, or maybe it's just the beginning of nighttime here. It's like blue hour. So we're going to use our blue, which I say is blue, but it's got so much red in it that it's kind of not blue at all. But in the grand scheme of this color scheme, or this palette, it is as close as we have to blue. So it kind of feels blue. Sort of a little bit, I hope. It's my aim anyways. But we're not really getting a lot of light coming in from the window. We've got some nice light coming in from the lamp up here. But the window is more just for ambience, I think, at this point. But hell yeah. Okie dokie. I don't know if you can hear outside, but there is a lovely breeze happening out there. I'm very grateful for it right now, because I was really warm when I started streaming, which often seems to be the case in this room. I don't know, when the window is closed in the studio, it gets a little bit stuffy, I find. Especially when I've got hot beverages all around me and the lights are bright. Okay, here's my blue, which I promise that this paint is blue. Even if it looks kind of brown. Everything is brown in this palette, except maybe green. And even the green is brownish. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, it's pretty. Oh, that pretty. Okay, cool. I think I actually want to add some more paint to it if I can. But also just really wet that down so I can kind of move it around a bit. Anyways, hopefully this will turn out looking cute. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna start with a really light layer and just kind of re-wet this, because I'm a little concerned that the bits that I've like pre-wetted are already starting to dry, which means we won't get as much of a nice. You really want to be going onto a wet surface to get the sort of granulation effects that you want with this paint, I think. That's looking quite cool. But it kind of needs that. Otherwise, it kind of just morphs together and becomes sort of brownish purple. And I'd like to be able to see that there's blue in it as well. Oh, I almost picked up the purple there by mistake, which is a different color. All the leaves are brown, so Sledge, and the sky is brown. Yup. Everything is brown, brown, brown when you live in Brown Town. Anyways. I am not dreaming of California when all the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I'm just a happy camper. Because I like the colder weather, actually. I've been to California on many an occasion, and I find it very warm. And I love that for me a little bit less. So, there you have it. There we go. I hope that's an interesting ambience for the outside. We might add in some sort of silhouetted details in addition to this as we go. But for the moment, I kind of mostly want it to be... I want to establish that sort of background sky situation in the first instance, I suppose. There's some, we're having some weather out there, certainly, I think. Okay. And now I'm going to remember which one is brown. Not brown, blue. It's so brown. I keep wanting to call it brown. No, this is the closest we have to a blue paint in this palette. It is actually, for anyone who doesn't know this set of paints that I'm using, which I blended myself. This is a blend of Lunar Red Rock, which is this one, with with Cobalt Blue Deep. But that Cobalt Blue Deep, woof! It wants to get changed. It loves disappearing into and then sort of just peeking out from beneath, between, and behind other sort of granulating pigments. That's what Cobalt Blue Deep finds fun, apparently. It's a sneaky little so-and-so, and I love it for that! It's so much fun to work with. Basically, this interest in making, like, weird mixtures of pigments started when I bought myself a number of the super granulation convenience mixture paints from Schminke, which, if you have not tried them, are very, very fun. But it turns out you can totally make your own. You can look, because they will tell you what pigments are within each of their paints. So if you wanted to, if you already have those paints, you can just make your own version of it. Or what have you. But it is, I do like those. I find them nice and convenient, and I think the colors, at least the set of colors that I have from that mix, are really, really cool and make for some really interesting pieces as well. Very, very fun. Ooh, somebody finished Wordle and got it in 4 guesses. Congratulations, Twitch user Sledge Callier. Good job. Good job, my sunshine. You should feel very proud. Hell yeah. I have not attempted today's Wordle puzzle, but I shall do later. I didn't get yesterday. This isn't a spoiler because it's yesterday's Wordle puzzle. I attempted yesterday's Wordle puzzle and I didn't get it. Would you like to know why? Turns out that there were a ton of words that could be formed of using the last 4 letters of the word. And different starting letters, and I just was unable to correctly guess what the first letter was. And then I ran out of guesses. I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed by that. I was like, oh, come on. It was one of those, like, okay, well, it could conceivably be this word, or this word. And I have 3 possible words, and I have 2 possible guesses, so I'm just gonna have to put down 2 of the words. And it was the 3rd one. And that just makes me really annoyed, because I didn't lose due to, like, it wasn't a skill issue, it was just incorrectly guessing at that point, which, like, Strands can get in the bin, apparently, as it once again breaks its own rules. Yeah, we're falling out of love with some of these New York Times puzzles, it has to be said. I do like doing a little free puzzle situation. I think it's good for your mind brain, but sometimes they can be very annoying and not very good. But yeah. But yesterday's Wordle definitely annoyed me a little bit because of the whole, like, I have the last 4 letters. I know exactly what they are practically from the outset. I think guess number 2, I had the last 4 letters. And then I just didn't know which rhyming word it was. And how are you supposed to, at that point, again, like I said, it's not a matter of skill. It's a matter of just guessing which of these rhyming words is the correct one. And it's very easy to get that wrong because it's entirely luck-based. Oh well, whatever. Anyways. But never mind. I like this window! I think this window looks great. I think this window looks like they're having some weather out there. I think that's fun. I'm tempted to put some, like, to let that dry down and then add some really nice, very dark, sort of like silhouetted trees or something here and there to really make it feel like he's in a forest as well, but I don't know. I don't know if I should do that. Painting is hard. And I'm not very good at it. That is to say I don't want to talk myself down too hard, because then people get mad at me and then give me compliments and I don't like that. So instead what I shall say is that I'm not always very good at making decisions and being very decisive about it. I think because, once you've made that decision, that's great. And you kind of just gotta stick with it, which is scary. That's a scary little commitment. Anyway, so you remember this book that we painted up here, this little secret book that we've got hiding up here? Well, this is Cactus Flower, and it's a duochrome watercolor, which means it shimmers, and it has a very lovely dimensions of shimmer to it. So, yeah, this book is going to shimmer using this Cactus Flower duochrome, which I think is very cool of it. There's gonna be kind of and it's got a bit of an aura around it, because of course it does. That's a little bit, that's not super visible unless you look at it in certain light, and then it goes all sparkly. But the actual thingy itself is also going to have a nice amount of sparkles applied to the top, which will hopefully give it, just make it look like, a somewhat, shall we say, a somewhat more specialist tome? I think we shall. Okay. Thar. Ooh, sparkly. Ooh, sparkly. Fancy. Okay, now we have a shiny book that is stowed on top of the bookshelves because it is to be kept out of reach of people who probably shouldn't be casually reciting incantations that they don't understand. And Terry's a very mindful boy. I just realized that I've put shimmery paint into my regular... That is not my sponge. I've just realized that I've put shimmery paint into my regular paint water, so I'm going to have to go change this real quick. I'll be back in just a moment. Oh, what a ding-dong. I forgot I was going to do that. Okay, friends, I'm back. Hello. Hello again. It's good to be back. But yeah. I hope everyone's had a good day today. I've had a good day today. I've had an especially good day today because I got to do streamy things. And that's always a good fun time. Okay, so I've got my shimmery glaze up here. I've got pretty much all of the flat colors done for Terry and his environment. So, what else have I left to do? I am gonna, I think, just apply a little smidge of additional sort of shadowy color just under the lamp here. Because I feel like it does want to be a little bit darker. Because there's stuff here, and not as much light is going to be kind of sneaking into that bit of it. And that was going to bother me until I did something about it, so I'm doing something about it now. There we go. I'm very confused because of the fact that the stream went down. I'm looking at it now, and it says I've been streaming for 19 minutes, and I know that's not true. I now don't know when I started streaming, which is really practical and helpful for me figuring out whether or not it's time to finish. Oh, pretzels. But I think all things considered, it is a little bit early, but also I think this is a good point to kind of pause and then come back to finishing this piece next time. Because if I start doing more now, we're going to be here for a really long time, and I do have to cook dinner at some point, so I think I'm going to go cook dinner now, and I'm going to thank y'all for hanging out with me. For those of you who stuck around over the technical difficulties, thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate it. And to our lovely raiders, thank you so much for stopping by. And to everybody else, thank you so much for being here. You're all breathtaking. It is because of y'all that I keep doing this stuff. And if I didn't have such a lovely community, I probably wouldn't be as accountable for actually making and completing art as often as I do. And you know what? It's really good for my mental health. So thank you for that. Anyways, let's find someone we can do a little raidy raid on, shall we? Let's make a move. See if we can see someone cool who is doing a stream right now. Who's doing a live stream? Let us see. Oh man, there's a ton of people I know who are live right now. Cool. I'm going to raid someone, assuming that they're not just about to finish. Let's just make sure that they're not just about to finish, because that would be really embarrassing. But assuming they're not just about to finish, we could go do a raid. Anyways, I'm going to pop a raid message into the chat while I wait for this to load, if I can. They ever since they changed the raid like function so that it like previews what the person's stream is doing right now with like a chat window and stuff, I am absolutely terrified that I'm accidentally going to like paste in the raid message before I've actually raided, and they're gonna be really confused. Anyways, oh sweet, okay. Jenga is doing some very, very cool artwork right now, so let's go say hi. And let's thank y'all for hanging out with me today. I'm really happy with where we're at on this piece. Hopefully it will continue to get painted next time. I'll be back tomorrow morning playing some Hollow Knight, if that's the kind of thing that you're into. It's a very cozy time. And then I'll be back on Monday at the usual time, maybe finishing this painting. We shall see. I hope so, because I need to get it done before October, because October is streaming, and I'm going to be very, very busy. But in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out today. It's been lovely. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. Thank you to everyone who stuck around. I shall be back tomorrow morning. And, yeah, take care, everyone. If you want to grab the raid message, feel free to grab the raid message. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, just say generic raid message or append whatever cool emotes you do have. It's all good. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a good rest of your Thursday. And goodbye and good night.